Hi guys, Dirty Visor here. Welcome to my brother's Kawasaki ZX6R. This was my bike, and then I sold it to him to make way for my new additions to the garage. This is actually a 0708 bike, but it was registered in 09. It's 108 brake horsepower, 0 to 60 in just over 3 seconds, and the top speed of around 160. So for a 600 it's certainly very adequate. And to be honest, I did ride this the other day, and for a 600, to be honest with you, it does keep up with any 1000cc bikes, I'll tell you that. And I have actually used this on track, and yeah, you do struggle to keep up with the 1000cc's on the long straight, but around the twisters and corners this makes up for it. I'm actually using his bike today because I do have to go to the bank in town weekly, and it's a nightmare going in a car or van. There's nowhere to park, and then this I can just pull up right near the bank, or any of the bikes right near the bank. No, don't have to pay for parking, don't have to mess around anything like that. Can cut in and out of the traffic. I'm only at the bank for about 5 minutes, and it's once a week. Actually, that is the reason what got me started it off purchasing all these bikes, was actually the fact that I had to go into town every week, which I used to do for about a year in a car, and I had to go with 2 people, one stay in the car and the other jump out. And then I started off, I realised that I could just go into town on a moped, so I did actually start off with a moped, and then from a moped I worked up to Kawasaki Meter 125. My ex-girlfriend my girlfriend at the time, my ex-girlfriend now, she crashed that. But anyway, so I went from the Kawasaki to then the older version, the 0607 version of this bike, and then swapped it or changed up for this one. And then subsequently then from this one to the Ducati yellow 748, and then from the 748 added the 959, and then added the Superleggera. So that was just a quick history of the progression from bike to bike. And yeah, the reason I go on this bike to the bank when the weather's been raining or looks like it's going to rain or is going to rain later is because, I mean, if you look at it, he's not exactly take care of it, and it's been used in the rain, in the wet, so I'd rather get this messed up than get any of my own nice clean ones. So yeah, right, onward and outward. Oh, another point, I don't know if any of you guys have watched any of my other videos, but the drive, at the end of the drive, had big holes and was pothole infested. Yesterday I did actually smoothing it out, fill it up with cement. See you later. Fill it up with cement. It is actually still a bit wet, but I'm going to risk riding on it just to show you guys. So yeah, if you can see, better do it slowly. Oh, there is a little tyre mark, but it'll be alright. No quick shift, obviously, I don't think. It's right back to basics, this bike, you can certainly feel it. The thing is with this bike, it doesn't kick in, the power don't kick in till high revs. I think that's what jack bikes are notorious for, but certainly this one, you have to wring its neck to get it out, to get the most out of it. It has had a Yoshimoshi exhaust, or it's not, that's not how you say it, but Yoshi, I think, is the short version exhaust that came with it. I didn't put it on, so it hasn't got the standard can. So if it does sound a bit loud, that's why. after purchasing this bike, I did think I would never need to change bikes, because why would I? This is certainly fast enough. Yeah, certainly fast enough, and you know, what more I had in my head, what more could another bike do that this doesn't? And to agree, that's true. Why spend another 10, 20, 30, 60 grand on something which in essence they all do exactly the same thing, get you from A to B, gives you the fun factor when you want it. You see, it screams, gives you the fun factor, but you know, when you always try new things and then get different experiences when you try different bikes, and you know what happens, you always want the new, well, sometimes you want the newest and the better looking. I mean, performance wise this is very good, but aesthetically something just draws me to the Ducati bikes in general. I always had a hankering over the 748, 916, 996 shape, and then had the opportunity to purchase the 748 SP, the yellow bike that I've got, and then it led from, and I was using it too much, so then I really wanted, because I got rid of this at the time, so I really wanted something that I could use on a daily basis or more regular without worrying about putting the miles on. So then I test drove the 959, not thinking anything of it, and then it ended up being really good and I loved it. Oh yeah, certainly feel the power difference between this and certainly the Leggera. I haven't ridden this bike properly. I mean, I ride it maybe for 10 minutes at a time, once a month or once every 2 weeks. More in the winter because the weather gets worse. But yeah, it's like, it reminds me of my car, that you need to build up the revs to get the most out of it, and my car's the same, 3,000-4,000 revs, and then it starts to kick into life. And then this certainly low end, it just, you know, doesn't feel like anything. But the V-twin of the Ducatis, I think that's what they're known for, to have low end grunt, aren't they? So to be honest, I've never really looked at bikes in a critical manner, only since I've started doing these little bike vlog video kind of things. Started to look at it in a more critical manner. For my brother though, this is more than he could ever need. He was alright. Especially he's like not a confident rider yet, he's only just passed not so long ago, so if he is going to crash something, it might as well be something that's already been tipped over like this than something 60, 13. Actually, I'll tell you a story. He just passed his test about a year and a half ago, and I said to him, well, he was insured on any bike, covered in his policy, and I got a bit excited for some reason, but I said to him, yeah, go take, I just bought the 959, take it. I was desperate for him to experience how it felt. Anyway, I had a bike ramp, you know, like the mechanics used to lift up the bikes in the workshop. I purchased one of them, and this bike was on it, because I'd given it a clean or done something on it anyway, on the 959, and or maybe I didn't have the garage space, so I needed to put a bike on the ramp to get it out of the way. But anyway, and I had forgotten that it was actually on the ramp, but I assumed he's an electrician, so he's competent at doing DIY stuff. Anyway, of course he tried to get it off and it lost balance. And to be fair, I've done that on this bike as well, but he'd done it on a 13 grand bike that I just bought, so obviously he must have felt really terrible. But anyway, he tipped it over, and luckily that ugly exhaust that everyone hates, luckily that took the most of the impact, so it landed on that, and yeah, and he was scared for about, and I broke one of these mirrors as well, and luckily he was picking up the courage for about 2 hours to say. Oh, I was thinking, where the hell is he? Anyway, for about 2 hours, and then he rang me or messaged me and told me, and don't know. I just didn't get angry. Normally I get angry, but I didn't. And he said to me, Kareem, are you understanding what I'm saying? I have tipped over your bike. I said, yeah, don't worry. Yeah, I don't know why I was like that, but anyway, things are, I don't know. He caught me in a good mood, I think. But anyway, I didn't hold it against him, didn't chuck it in his face after. Just the mirror cost about £100 to change. The exhaust played into my hands because I was changing it anyway. So, and then there was no real other damage. Oh, just this bar end, whatever. But that's still damage. Oh, shoes alright. That bar end thing is going to cause me an accident one day. Yeah, the bar end is scuffed or whatever, but that's not even noticeable. That could be changed. To be honest with you, I remember now, it's kind of a relief, you know, because when you've got something that's in mint condition, brand new, you just don't want to get anything on it. Well, I don't want to get any scratch, chip, anything on it. And so I was keeping it in mint condition, and it was like kind of a relief when he tipped it or dropped it. And to be honest with you, I thought the damage was a lot worse than what he had done. When I assessed it when I got back from home, because I was at work at the time, there was hardly any damage, really. I was expecting fairing damage, and we all know how much bearings can cost, like £300 each, or, you know what I mean? You know what Ducati like with bearings. And, yeah, so it was better news when I got back and assessed it myself than I originally thought. So in spite, I thought there was thousands of pounds worth of damage, there was actually only £100. It was kind of a relief that it now wasn't in mint condition, so I could probably use it, or, you know, not worry about it every time I go out or something, or not, you know, every time I go out, not search it to see if there's any chips or anything like that that's happened since the last ride. So yeah, I think that's why I wasn't too angry, because it was like kind of a relief. But anyway, that's a nice little story. I look back on fond memories, but probably at the time it wasn't great. Oh, and another thing on this bike, I went to Almeria in Spain on this track with no limits track holiday for a couple of days. You go around the track, and yeah, had the GoPros on. This bike was in mint condition again. Or relatively mint, you know, it wasn't, you know, never had anything to, you know, you can go, oh, you dropped it or anything. It didn't have anything like that. And yeah, so I was tipped into a corner, and sorry, I just stalled then, round the corner, and then this other guy just, like, I was tipped in, committed basically, and he just suddenly came from my right from nowhere, and then I reacted, because at that time I had only been riding a year anyway. Not that that's an excuse, but it was just made me jump. Anyway, so I'm going to post the video, a little clip that I have pulled up from somewhere that's been on my phone for years, and just put it into this video in a sec. I've probably just put it on and you've seen it, so yeah, so that's what happened. So it landed, no like cracks or anything, just I'll show you now actually. Oh, it's the other side. Yeah, can you see all this? Yeah, properly. I remember my friend, he said, oh, that was T cut out. I was like, no. Well, I didn't think that at the time, because I didn't know what T cut was then. But now that I know what it is, I'm like, no, that won't. Because the decals are all... But anyway. So yeah, I'm at the bank now. This is where I like to park, just on the side. Then traffic wardens don't get me. And then I walk over here to the bank, do my thing, and... come out and then go back to the work. Okay, so I'll see you in 5 minutes. Well, I'll see you in about a second, but really it will be about 5 minutes. Hi guys, I'm back. It's like literally 5 minutes. So I've got to come all this way just for 5 minutes every week. And look, as you can see, there's nowhere to park. That's the disabled area. Nowhere up there. This is a town centre. Those vans are parking there because they're doing work in the shops, so they're allowed. But basically, this is a pedestrian area or deliverers only. Yeah, so the closest place to park is that's disabled. The one up there, but you'll never find a place on the side of the road there. You can park there, but then that's illegal because these double white lines mean you can't park anywhere. So yeah, it's a nightmare. Obviously, it's a lot easier coming on a bike, but if it rains, you know, if you get wet, if you've got a bike you don't want to get wet, that's obviously a downside. But luckily, I have this, which isn't starting. Oh, so it's done. Good thing about this bike is like never like let you down. You can guarantee it will always start. It will never cut off. I think every single one of my Ducatis has cut off at irregular intermittent times. This is exactly why we have bikes. Well, I have a bike, so that's wait in traffic. I don't really fancy cutting in front of this bus when he's about to turn. I could actually, but the problem is if I go and he then decides to go, I'm finished. Come on, if he moves, I can quickly go. That's it. Always be careful of this man cover. Man drain. But see, I just had my eyes on the speedo then for that speed camera, and in that time the light changed and I lost a few seconds of being able to brake or hit someone, or you know, just for literally a couple of seconds or a second off your speedo, which I wasn't on my phone or anything, but just checking the speed. Actually, that speed camera nearly caused me to have an accident. So there's one for statistics. It doesn't save lives. It nearly killed one, or it causes them. I'm not sure why he's got his hazards on. Well, we don't want to be behind it to find out. Actually, I might visit Italiamoto, the Ducati dealership in Lincoln. Yeah, I might actually, I've got time. I like to visit here when I go to the bank, if I haven't got to go back to work straight away. See if we've got anything else I can buy. Nah, I don't think they have. Well, when you purchase a few bikes off somewhere, you kind of get friendly with them, so it's more like a friendly place. They have actually said I could demo any of their bikes and video it, so soon I'll have some more bike related videos courtesy of them to review, or just kind of well, for you to kind of join me along for the ride. I need a speech therapy, you know what I mean. I need a speech teacher, doctor, you know what I mean. Sometimes it's difficult to get my words out. I think too quick for my mouth. I'm thinking too far ahead, I think. Indicate right. There's always shit on the road here because it don't get used a lot. Right, I'm going in now. I'll do another video on what's inside here next time. See you later, guys. Bye, gay boy. Right, I spent some time there. I didn't video in because I'll save that for another time. The only problem is this, if I was any taller I would not be able to see the speed. I mean, where the camera is now, probably you can't see the speed if I do that, but I can just see it under the screen. Like I said, if I was any taller, then I'd have to crouch down to see the speed, so obviously that's a disadvantage. The fuel light has come on, and let's go put some in because I don't want my brother to moan if he goes through a ride and then finds there's no fuel. He'll realise that I've been riding it. Mind you, if he watches my videos, he'll realise then, won't he? It's certainly got some get up and go, this bike. See, it doesn't. I'm in second gear. Alright, let me slow down with this camera, make sure I'm going fast. Right, second gear, I'm at 5,000 RPM. Okay, let's go down to 4,000 RPM at 30 miles an hour. Twist. 6, 8, 10. See, it doesn't, you know, it takes a bit of time. But, yeah. It comes like alive at 10, I think. I'll just around 10. But the problem is, by that you're already going over the limit in a 40. For a road bike in real world conditions or road conditions, this is more than adequate. When you go onto the track, that's when the shortcomings of the bike you start to feel or realise, especially if you're up against 1000cc bikes. Oh. Stalled it again. Hot pants. So it's to scream as you get higher in the rev range. Seem to be living at this petrol station. That is one downside to having so many vehicles and using them. You constantly fill it up, especially with motorbikes, obviously, because you can't, you know, it's a small tank. You get to around 100, 150 miles to a tank. There we are. Ooh. I just put £10 in. That would shut him up. I would fill it, but he's never grateful for anything I do for him. Actually, I'll put 15. Oh, that's all it will take anyway. It will only take 13. 14 it will take. Thought it was bigger than what it was. 11 litres. Or 12 litres. Maybe it's the previous Kawasaki I had that had a bigger tank. Can I squeeze? Yeah. Okay. While I'm approaching my place of work, I'm pleased that you could join me for the ride. Just a little insight to my daily life. Make sure you subscribe and so you get updated, and make sure you put that little belly thing on the side when you subscribe, so you'll be notified if I well, when I put some more videos up, which I will be having some nice content soon. Can't find, oh, that's neutral. Yeah, okay, so this is Dirty Visor, and I'll see you soon and take care. Cheers.